We got some good news and bad news yesterday when it comes to the Steelers. The good news is TJ Watt has returned to practice, which means his 21-day window for activation has begun. We ain't going to see him for this Eagles game this week, but then after that is the bye. Then it's the Saints at home, and then the following week is the Bengals at home for Sunday Night Football. So if we don't see him for either the Saints or the Bengals game, he's going to be shut down for the season. But based off some of the hints that TJ's been dropping thus far on social media, I'm guessing he'll be back. The bad news, though, is that Calvin Austin III, the Steelers' fourth-round pick in 2022, will not be activated to the active roster. Yesterday was the deadline to do so, which means he will remain on IR, which also means he will not be playing for the team in 2022. It really is a bummer considering Austin has blazing fast speed, ran a 4.2 40, and because of that could bring a different element to this offense. But I also understand why this may be just more of a developmental year for Austin, as Tomlin said on Tuesday.
This guy hadn't played in a stadium yet anyway. He hadn't played in a preseason stadium. And so it's more about development for him. And that's the perspective that I have. I'm just being realistic.
Because the question you got to ask yourself right now is, where does Austin fit on this offense, like right now? Because we already have a ton of weapons that start for us. Our starting three receivers, Pat Freiermuth, also Najee Harris. But then also when you're talking those depth receivers like a Gunner, a Steven Sims, or a Miles Boykin, is Austin automatically a better option than those guys on offense? But also each of them brings something else to the table on special teams. And then you have further information that dropped yesterday, which does provide some clarity. Austin suffered a little bit of a setback during his 21-day return window and had to have surgery. So I'm guessing this is more about that. Well, actually, we don't even know. That's the huge question mark. Is Austin even 100% healthy right now? What is going on in practice? Are they trying to find a rule, but they haven't? So there's just so many question marks revolving around Austin that I don't think this is a terribly bad move not to activate him. I'll put it to you that way. But me personally, I would have liked to seen him activated because of the X factor element he could bring with that speed. And my solution for bringing him up would be just move out Kendrick Green, but I really don't think that's an actual possibility because he is still depth for the offensive line, and he was just a third-round pick last year. The other option could be cutting Mason Rudolph. I don't think that's happening. I don't know if I would want that to happen. Now, a trade's a different story, but it doesn't seem like anything's moving at that speed in terms of trading Mason Rudolph. And what I'm thinking, too, is even if Austin doesn't have that immediate impact, even if he doesn't get a helmet for his first 3 to 4 weeks or maybe even 5 weeks, there still may be a place for him later in the season, depending on how everything goes. It's also more of a bummer because Seattle Seahawks rookie cornerback Tariq Woolen was available to the Steelers in the 4th round, and he was a sleeper pick that I saw the Steelers potentially taking due to his insane physical attributes, but we passed on him. We ended up taking Calvin Austin, and he's not playing at all this year. But then we're seeing out on the West Coast, Tariq Woolen is literally having a borderline Pro Bowl season in his first year. Now, don't get me wrong. I still feel like Austin was a solid pick, especially in the 4th round, and will be good for us long term. But just knowing we could have had a dude at a position of need in cornerback, also at a position that we've struggled to draft, and he's balling out in Seattle, and he's actually on the field this year, whereas Calvin Austin won't be playing for the Steelers in 2022. Although, if the Steelers did draft Woolen, who knows? We probably would have had him buried on the depth chart or on the practice squad or some shit like that. But that's it for today's edition of Big Deke News. Going to keep it short and simple. We will have some more content rolling out for the rest of this weekend. Going to try to have a trade deadline special out to you tomorrow, and then also the preview, obviously, for the Steelers-Eagles. And I'm going to be trying my damnedest to get it out before game day, so there's more time and you can actually check out the picks that I'm giving you, and there's just more time in between the preview and when the game starts. Although sometimes, hey, fresh game day content, it hits the spot. But no, I want to get the preview out either Friday night or Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Again, hope you enjoyed. Stay chilling, and peace.